Welcome back, guys, and happy Republic Day to all. So, today's question is minimum absolute difference. Basically, in this question, we are given an array, and in this array, if we look, we can choose any two numbers. Like if we choose 4 and 2, so the difference between them is 2, or basically, the absolute difference between them is 2. Or if you choose 1 or 3, it's 2. Or if you choose 2 or 1, it's 1. So whatever this distance is, absolute difference, we have to minimize it. I mean, not actually minimize, but we have to find the minimum absolute distance. Let's say in this array, this 1 is the minimum absolute distance. So what we have to return is the pairs that can make this distance. Like in this array, we have 1 and 2. 1 comma 2 is a pair that can give us minimum absolute distance 1. After that, 2 comma 3 is a pair which will give us absolute minimum distance 1, and 3 comma 4 is also a pair that can give us absolute distance equals to 1. So we have to return all these pairs in a 2D array, that is vector of int. So this is the return type of the answer. For this, what we will do is, you can see, if we sort the array, then only we can get the minimum distance. Like if you see, if you choose any two, 1 2 3 and 4, if you sort the array and if you choose any number, like if you choose 1 and 3, so 1 comma 3 the difference is 2, and 1 comma 2 the difference is 1. Or you can take any another array, for example 9 6 14 23 22. So first we will sort this array 6, 9, 14, 22, 23. Now you can see that the minimum distance is always between the adjacent elements. Like 14 minus 6 will give you 8, but 9 minus 6 will give you 3. Here also 22 minus 14 is 8, and 23 minus 14 is 9. So you can see the adjacent elements give us the minimum distance rather than taking the elements from far away. So what we will do is, we will take an variable named mindiff and initialize it to 0, then sort the array. We took a mindiff variable, we sorted the array, and what we will do is, we will run a for loop in which we will run it from I equals to 1 to I equals to n minus 1. Why we are starting from 1? Because here you can see, in this array we are starting from this element, because we have to calculate the difference between this and this element. So if we will start from this element, there is nothing for calculating the distance, so we will directly start from this element and we will calculate for each. Like for ith element, we will calculate the distance, that is diff is equals to array of I minus array of I minus 1. So we get distance, this diff is the distance between every adjacent element, and after that we have to keep track of the minimum distance, because we have to return the pairs which have the minimum distance. So for keeping the track, what we will do is, mindiff is equals to minimum of mindiff comma diff. So when this loop ends, at the end of the loop, we'll get min_diff to be the shortest, or we can say the minimum absolute difference. Now we have got the minimum absolute distance. The only thing is remaining, that is to find the pair. For finding the pair, what we'll do is we will take an unordered set. We are using unordered set because we have to check that if an element A exists in array or not. So I will keep it simple. What we will do is we will run an for loop for int x from array, and in this we'll do simple thing. We will add x plus min_diff. Now whatever A we are getting, we will just check that if A exists in the unordered set. Let's say set name is res. So we will just check that if the A element exists in the unordered set or not, because this will guarantee that if it exists in the array, then we have A and we also have x. So we can make a pair A minus x, which will give us the difference equals to min_diff. So we are getting a pair. So like this, we will travel all the way up to array and we will track all the pairs. And if the A exists, then we will basically create a vector. And in this, we will push x, we will push A, and this vector we will directly push let's say this vector name is answer, so we will directly push answer in our main vector, which is a 2D. So in this 2D vector we will push this vectors, and when we are on the last element, then in this 2D vector we will have all the pairs and we will just return that 2D vector. That is it. Thank you.